Compassion is more than just feeling sorry for someone or helping out when it's convenient. In my own understanding, compassion means having a deep sense of empathy for the suffering of others and choosing to act in a way that relieves that suffering. It is an act of the heart that goes beyond emotion. It is a movement love toward action. Compassion involves seeing another person, creature, or part of our environment not as separate from us, but as connected to our shared humanity and our shared home. It is not simply pity. It is solidary. It says, your pain is my pain, your joy is my joy. In a world full of injustice, environmental destruction, inequality, and selfishness, compassion is a powerful response. It has the ability to heal wounds, build bridges between differences, and encourage a more sustainable and loving way of living. It calls us to be aware for those around us, not just people close to us, but even strangers, voiceless in the earth itself. One of the most visible expressions of compassion is how we care for other people. It can be as simple as listening when someone's struggling, helping a classmate understand the lesson, or offering support to someone in grief. In larger ways, compassion can move us to voluntary and community efforts, donate to those in need, and advocate for those who are unheard and oppressed. Caring for others does not always mean solving their problems, but being present, kind, and respectful for dignity. Another major way compassion is expressed is through how we treat the environment. The earth gives us life, food, water, shelter, and beauty. However, human activity has led to pollution, climate change, deforestation, and the extinction of species. A compassionate heart does not ignore these things. Instead, it sees the earth not as something to be used and thrown away, but as something to be cherished, protected, and healed. Environmental compassion means reducing our waste, conserving energy, planting trees, protecting animals, and learning how our actions affect the planet. It is realizing that taking care of the environment is not also taking care of others, especially future generation who will inherit what we leave behind. At Pan Pacific University or PU, we are not just taught to learn subjects or pass exams. We are also guided to develop as people of character, conscience, and compassion. But how do we actually grow into that kind of person and community? This is where communal discernment plays a very important role. Communal discernment is the process of listening together as a community to what is good, true, and loving, not just based on opinions or trends, but guided by values, conscience, and sometimes even faith. It means making decisions not just individually, but as a group that is open to hearing different voices and seeking the best way forward for everyone involved. It is more than just a group discussion. It is a sacred practice of reflection, listening, and commitment to what is right. In PU and beyond, communal discernment helps us ask the hard but necessary questions. What kind of university do we want to be? How can we support students who are struggling mentally, financially, or emotionally? How do we include the voices of the poor, the marginalized, and the unheard in our decisions? What actions do we need to take as a community to reduce our environmental footprint? How do we create a culture where kindness is not an exception, but the norm? When we practice communal discernment, we avoid acting out of selfishness or haste. Instead, we build unity, deepen understanding, and move closer to solutions that are rooted in justice and love. It becomes a space where everyone is heard and where do we not seek only what benefits us, but what builds the common good. Through communal discernment, we can also be more intentional in shaping PU into a compassionate space. For example, students can come together to start initiatives that promote mental health, inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Faculty, na, Faculty and administrators can work in harmony with students to build policies and programs that are humane and responsive. Even simple activities like campus cleanups, donation drives, or peer support groups can become become act of communal love when done with a heart that listens and care. The same is true for the world beyond our school. Imagine if governments, organizations, and communities took time to truly listen to the needs of the poor, the cries of the earth, and the dreams of the youth. Imagine if decisions were not based on or profit, but on what brings dignity, peace, and healing to all. That kind of world is not just a dream. It is possibly, but only if compassion becomes a shared value and if we work together through discernment. Compassion and communal discernment go hand in hand. Compassion gives us heart to care. Discernment gives us the wisdom to act. Compassion says, let's not ignore the problem. Discernment asks, what can we do together about it? When both are present, transformation happens, not just individuals, but in a whole community. In my own journey as a student at Pan Pacific University, I want to grow in these values. I want to be someone who listens before speaking, who cares before judging, and who acts before it's too late. I want to learn not only how to pass exams, but how to become a person who contributes a more compassionate world. I know I know this starts with small things, how I treat my classmates, how I use resources, how I show up for others, but I also believe it includes joining hands and others to make difference, whether on campus, at home, or in the larger society. In the end, the question we must always return to this is, are we making this world more loving, more compassionate, more just? If the answer is no, then we must return the heart to compassion and to the community to discernment. Together we can build not just a better school, but a better world.